A chat with an early bird.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our podcast. Today we are going to explore habits, routines, and lifestyles that shape extraordinary lives. I'm your host, Mark Stevens, and today we have a fascinating guest with us. Aaron, a self-proclaimed early bird who has embraced the power of waking up at the crack of dawn. Aaron, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Mark. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, Aaron, let's dive straight in. Waking up early, is something a lot of people struggle with, yet you seem to thrive on it. What inspired you to make it a regular habit?
Well, to be honest, it wasn't always this way. There was a time when I'd sleep in until the last possible moment, and my days felt rushed and chaotic. But once I started waking up earlier, and I'm talking around 5:30 or 6 a.m., I noticed a significant shift in how I felt. I suppose the saying, "the early bird catches the worm," really rings true.
That's fascinating. So you'd say the change wasn't just psychological?
Absolutely. It wasn't just a matter of feeling more accomplished, though that was part of it. Physically, I started feeling more energetic throughout the day. I even noticed that my sleep quality improved. I wake up feeling well rested rather than groggy. And interestingly, I felt my stress levels decline. It was as if my body and mind were thanking me for sticking to a healthier rhythm.
That's incredible. I imagine a lot of our listeners are curious about the science behind this. Do you think the improvement in your energy and health was directly linked to waking up early?
I can't speak for everyone, but in my case, it certainly seems so. You see, waking up early gave me the chance to ease into my day. I used that quiet time in the morning to plan my tasks, do some light exercise, or even just enjoy a cup of coffee while the world outside is still asleep. There's something almost magical about being awake when the day is fresh and full of promise.
It does sound magical. Have you faced any challenges sticking to this routine? I imagine it wasn't all smooth sailing at the start.
Oh, not at all. It was a bit of an uphill battle at first. There were mornings when I'd hit the snooze button or wonder if it was worth it. But I reminded myself of how much better I'd felt on the days I stuck to it. I suppose I'd say it's like building any good habit, Consistency is key. You have to keep at it, even when it's not convenient.
Wise words, Aaron. I like what you said about consistency being key. Was there a moment when you realized this habit had truly become second nature to you?
Yes, there was. I remember waking up early one Saturday, and this was entirely without setting an alarm. It hit me then that my body had adapted. I was no longer dragging myself out of bed. I genuinely looked forward to those early hours. It was as though my internal clock had reset itself.
That's brilliant. What about the social side of things? Do you ever feel you're missing out when you go to bed early?
It's a fair point, Mark. I've had to make a few adjustments in that regard. There are times when I'll stay out later, but I'll compensate by taking it easy the following day. But honestly, it's a trade-off I'm willing to make. The benefits of waking up early far outweigh the occasional late-night plans.
It sounds like you've struck a balance that works for you. Before we wrap up, do you have any advice for listeners who might want to try waking up early but feel daunted by the idea?
Certainly. First, I'd say, don't aim for perfection right away. Start small. Set your alarm 15 minutes earlier than usual, and gradually work your way up. Secondly, make your morning something to look forward to. Whether it's enjoying a good book, meditating, or simply soaking up the quiet, having a positive reason to get out of bed can make all the difference.
That's excellent advice, Aaron. And finally, one last question. How would you sum up the impact of this habit on your life?
I'd say it's been transformative, Mark. There's a sense of clarity and purpose that I didn't have before. It's like waking up early has given me the chance to live my life more fully, one sunrise at a time.
Beautifully said, Aaron. Thank you so much for sharing your story and insights with us today.
Thank you, Mark. It's been a pleasure.
And to our listeners, that's all for today's episode. If you've been inspired by Aaron's story, why not give early mornings a try? Until next time, take care and stay curious.
Thank you for listening to English Audio Lounge. We hope you have enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more audio stories and video classes to improve your English.